Hello! So excited that you guys can come in and glaze. It's going to make everything work so much better. I need to go over the process and where things are, however. Okay? So you are going to enter through this doorway. This door, and it's a little snowed in right now, this door goes to the courtyard of the high school. So you'll enter and exit through that door. When you get here, you might need to knock on the door or the window next to it so I can let you in because I can't leave the door unlocked. Once you enter the room, this is what you'll see. On the front table, we have all of your clay pieces laid out, and we think we have them organized by student. You are going to grab your clay pieces and kind of move to a table to work. Okay, you can sit wherever you'd like in an open spot to work in here. Your clay pieces, when you're not working on them or whatever you aren't working on, are going to go in that room right there. Do you guys see it? That's our storage room. If you were here in the beginning of the year, you already have a shelf. If you weren't here in the beginning of the year, we'll get you a shelf. That's where you're going to store stuff when you leave that you're not done with and the things you're not currently working on. They'll get stored in that room. Once you have that set up, then you need to know where to get stuff to glaze. So we'll roll you along here in my bumpy little cart. By the doors to the playroom, which you will not be coming in and out of, there is a big tool cabinet. And on that tool cabinet, there are these two boards. These two boards have most, but not all, super fun, of the glazes that we have. And some of the glazes we're out of. So these are all over glazes, okay? So what you can do for your vessel, which you'll use overglaze on, your teapot, which you'll use overglaze on, you can come over here and pick out which ones you want to use. Few words of advice. Mako Stroke and Coat, these right here, these are what are called the Crayola crayon boxes of glazes. They're boring. They're just like straight red, straight green, straight purple, straight, and they don't look that great fired. They're okay for like little touches here and there, maybe on your teapot, but don't do large areas with these. They look very elementary in the end, and you are not elementary people, so don't do it. I would also avoid using the crystals glazes, as I said in my overglaze video, because they're just overpowering on anything that has any detail or texture. So these crystals glazes are best for like wheel thrown pieces that you might do in advanced. Other than that, the things are open. There's also some down here that are crackles, you'll see. If you have texture on your piece, don't use the crackles. It doesn't look good. Okay? All right. All right, let's look for the next thing. You need to sanitize when you come in and out of the art room. I should have said this before, my apologies. If you look at the soldering bench, you see that white bottle right there that my finger looks like it's touching? That's hand sanitizer. When you walk in the room, sanitize. When you leave the room, sanitize. Okay? Okay. All right, next thing that you need to know, where supplies are. So if we come down here, I'm going to tilt my camera. All these upper cabinets right here on the end of the room have different glazes in them. If you look here, this says underglaze. You are going to use underglaze on your mini animal. You have to underglaze your mini animal so you get used to using underglaze as an option. You might use a little bit of underglaze on your teapot as well for specific areas like eyes or things where you want very specific colors. In the underglaze cabinet, you will see all the underglaze that we have organized by color. When you put this back, make sure you put it back correctly. The color of the glaze is very close in the bottle to what it'll be in the outcome. Just remember, it gets deeper and darker when it's fired. So you can grab whatever glazes you need. Remember, hold it tight when you shake it, and when you're done, it goes back on the shelf, not down here. And make sure that underglaze goes in the underglaze cabinet. That is the underglaze shelf for your mini animal. The rest of the shelves, if we move down, say glaze. These are the pieces, the things that you will use on your vessel. You're going to use one color of glaze on your vessel. We're going to keep it simple. On the vessel, one color of glaze, inside, outside, not on the bottom though, right? And that you will find in these cabinets. If you look, this one says glaze warm, so this is all our warm colors. The next one down says glaze cool, and the last one says glaze neutral. So this will have the warm yellows, oranges, reds, and browns. and they're somewhat organized on shelves, okay? If you grab a bottle and you open it up and it's hard, it's dried hard, show it to me. I will likely throw it away. Sometimes I can save them. To find a specific glaze, they're all organized by name. So this is the brand, the line, and the specific color. And on the clay board, which is over here on the other side of the computer, it'll say Amico Artist Choice, and then under the little tile it'll say the color. So you can cross-check that you've got the right color if you're looking for something specific. And I'd be more than happy to give you advice if you want my advice on things. I've seen all of these fired. I have a sense of what they look like and how they work. So that's where glazes are. The next cabinet down, that's overglaze warm colors. Here's overglaze cool colors, lots of options in here. And then, tilt that there. And then the very last cabinet has neutrals and purple because there wasn't enough purple. So there's purple and then blacks. So there's purples and there's some grays here. These should be all blacks, whites. There's some in the wrong spots here. And the top shelf has clear. And remember, the clear looks like Pepto-Bismol, but it's clear. You've got to use a clear coat on your mini animal once you get all the underglaze on. Really important to me that you put things back where it belongs. Otherwise, it confuses kids. And if you find something in the wrong spot, put it away in the right spot. All right, we know where glaze is. We know where to look for the colors of glaze. Now you need tools. So this is the back sink. There's two sinks in the art room. There's one here. We use that for metals. We're not using that for ceramics. And there's this one here. So this sink, underneath it, is where I store the brushes. I'll pull those brushes up onto the countertop for you guys and kind of get them organized, but there's brushes down there and I'll pull out sponges. They'll be next to the sink. When you're done with them, wash them really well, put them back next to the sink. Please, please wash them well. If you've ever been in an art room where somebody's left a brush not well washed and then you go to use it, it can ruin a piece, like seriously. So wash your brushes, okay? Don't leave them in the sink. Don't just rinse them, wash them. You will also need containers. And if I tilt down again where we're looking at the sink, there's this cabinet right there that says containers. So if we open that up, you can see that there's like random bowls and dishes and cups in there. You can use any of those for water and you can use any of those for glaze. Next to the sink, we have this guy right here. These are our disinfecting wipes. When you are done and it's ready for you, time for you to clean up and go, you're going to take all of your clay stuff and you're going to put it back in your storage shelf. Then you're going to get one of these wipes right here and you are going to wipe down your table and you're going to wipe down every bottle of glaze that you've used. Then you're going to put the glaze away. You have to wipe down those bottles so they're disinfected prior to other people coming in and using them. Everybody understand? All right. Then you're going to wash out your water bin, anything you've used as a palette potentially for underglaze, and your brushes. Once you've washed them, you're going to use one of those wipes, probably the same wipe, they're pretty big, to wipe down each bowl and each brush and then put those away where you got them from. Please, please make sure you do this. I've been given like special permission to have you guys come in. It took a lot of work and to make a plan that would work. And the only way that we can keep doing this is if everybody cleans up as described, okay? Really important. All right, I'm going to show you where we're going to store stuff. So we're continuing to go around the outside of the sculpture room. There's the window into the courtyard. I think it'd be hilarious if I tripped over something and fell right now. I would leave it in the video. You guys could watch it. This is our clay storage room. This is where you're going to put your pieces if you're not between glazing sessions to store them. So over on the end of the storage room, there are these shelves. Some of you still have your names on them. Use the shelf your name is on. You're just going to put your clay pieces on those shelves for storage. If you don't have a shelf with your name on it, find a nameless shelf and add your name to it, okay? When you are done glazing and a piece is ready to be fired, I want you to show it to me so that way I can just make sure there's not anything that you need to modify before it goes into the kiln room. And then you're going to put it in the kiln room. Kiln room's right next to the storage room. It has a big kiln in it. In the kiln room, this is our kiln. This is where the clay goes to get fired. And And if you come in and turn, there are these shelves. And right now there's still some work from last semester on the shelves. I'm working on getting that back to different students. But this is where pieces go while they wait to get fired. This is you telling me this piece is done, it needs to be fired. That's the only way it goes in the kiln. If you leave it in your storage shelf in the storage room or out on the table, I don't know that it's done and ready to go into the kiln. So that's it. I mean, that's a lot, right? So you're going to come in through the door that goes to the courtyard. You're going to sanitize your hands. You're going to grab your clay from that front table, set it down, find a seat. Then you're going to go over and pick out some underglaze to start your mini animal. That's what I want you to do first. And start painting using the brushes and the containers from where I showed you. Once you're done with your mini animal, you're going to do the full underglaze and then 2 coats of clear coat. Then you're going to work on your vessel, and you can pick out glaze colors from these charts right here. And the cabinets that are behind me, you can start doing glazing on those. Those are the first 2 things I want you to do. 1 color of overglaze on your vessel, and then you're going to underglaze your mini animal like I showed in the mini animal underglaze video. When you're done with those 2 things, then you can work on your teapot and you can work on your kiln creatures, but I want you to get the experience of the mini animal and the vessel first. It's going to take you multiple sessions. You're not going to get this done in 1 class period. You probably won't even get your mini animal glazed in 1 class period. We'll have sessions open up through up until break, and we'll have more sessions after break as well. I'm very confident you'll have time as long as you can get in here and get things going. If you're struggling to find time to come in or don't know when that'll work, please let me and Ms. Boudreau know and we'll help you out. Make sure when you're done on a daily basis that you sanitize not just the surface that you worked at, but also the brushes, the glaze bottles, and the containers that you've used. Last but not least, folks, the entire time you're in here and the entire time I'll be in here from this video forward, you need to be wearing a mask, okay? All right, I am so excited to see you and help you out. Take care. Make sure that you watch the glazing videos before you come in so that when you're here, you're glazing, not watching videos, unless you need the reminder, but watch them first. All right, bye guys, thanks.